Hi everyone, my name is Jackie and I am a mom to this beautiful 4-month-old girl named Riley Rose, and I do a bunch of content basically all around being a new mom, and I do also discuss a lot what it's like to live on one income and how tips and tricks and how I get around that and the things that I sacrifice in order to make this work. Because for me, being a stay-at-home mom and raising this little girl is such a huge goal and such a huge deal for us, and we just really wanted to make this work. So that's what we did. We made a lot of sacrifices, and God willing, we were able to make it work, and so I can stay home and raise this girl and shape her mind the way that us, her parents, want it to be molded, because this society usually makes that decision for you. But anywho, so this is Riley, and she is 4 months old. She turned 4 months old on Friday. This is her favorite book. You can't tell, but she's a little distracted right now. I think she might be getting hungry soon. But anyway, so I thought I would go through. I just started my channel not too long ago, so I wasn't able to share anything regarding her other month updates or anything. So if there's any questions about the first 4 months that I'm not going to discuss right now, please feel free to leave them in the comments and I can share that with you as well. So we had a doctor appointment on her actual 4-month birthday, and it went amazing. Of course, she had a massive blowout, which again, that's not very uncommon for her. She has a blowout pretty much every single day. Honey, you use what the toy? She has a blowout pretty much every day, but this particular blowout was massive, and she went through all of her clothes, and this new mom fail over here, did not bring a change of clothes. So thankfully, my mother was with us shopping, and she picked up a few outfits for her at Walmart right before that. So thankfully we had a change of clothes in the car. They weren't washed. I do like to wash the clothes before I put them on my daughter, but yeah, we didn't have a choice. So she thankfully had a pajama set that she could change into, so it was good. It was all good. But yeah, so as far as the appointment goes, oh no, you threw it! Oh my goodness. You just want to chew my hand. She's teething. So yeah, that's something that they discussed in the appointment, was she is definitely teething. Honey, you can't. Yeah, so she's definitely teething. She's got some light buds, and I'm pretty sure I can feel something. I'm almost positive I can feel something coming through. So, yeah, so that was something that was exciting. Yeah. But as far as her height and weight goes, so she is 25¼ inches long. She's a tall girl. She's also, how much, if I keep looking down, it's because my notes are down there. She's also 15.9 pounds. So she is starting to level out, I think, because 3 weeks ago we had an appointment at a neurologist just to check out some stuff, but she's totally fine. And she was 15.2. So she's starting to level out, because up until this point, every appointment I feel like that we went to, whether it was for her being sick or whatever, new mom brings her baby to the doctor for everything, but every appointment it seemed like she was gaining a pound. It was just like, she was just growing like crazy. So now I feel like, you know, only not much at all really in 3 weeks. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think that's normal for them to start leveling out in their weight at this point. It's not, I don't think it has anything to do with her not getting enough milk or anything, because clearly she's still a chunk box. Yeah, a chunker, huh? You say hi to the camera? Say hi. Hi. Okay. So, yeah, so some of the things that we discussed at the doctor's is she has a very, very small soft spot in the back of her head. And the doctor wasn't very concerned about it. However, we do a lot of our playtime on the back. She sits on the mat and we look up at the colors and she grabs the toys and she watches music videos. A lot of our playtime is on her back. Are you getting hungry? So yeah, that's definitely our doing. She just had to try to encourage more tummy time, which of course we've been doing tons of tummy time regardless. You getting hungry? So, yeah, so we always do tummy time. We just definitely favor playing on her back. So we are going to definitely start keeping an eye on that, obviously. And also, I mean, she's pretty close to, I think, like sitting up. And so that's another thing that's not, it doesn't make it too concerning for me because I think she's going to be a lot more mobile very soon. And she started, some nights she'll sleep on her stomach. She'll roll over herself, which is totally fine if they do that. So there's a whole part of her day that won't be on her back and creating the soft spot to get worse. So I think it's all going to be okay. Everything is going to be fine. But yeah, so that was one thing that they noticed, and that was probably the first negative thing that we've had ever going to the doctor, and it isn't that serious. So I'm gonna take that for a win still. The doctor just kept on saying how happy she was. She just kept smiling and laughing at the doctor. It was she's just such a joy. So yeah, it all in all, it went very well. So the next topic that I wanted to discuss is her sleep habits. So I would say after her 2-month, I'm just starting to piece this together now, but after her 2-month shots, I want to say it was, she quickly, if that makes sense, started sleeping 10 to 12 hours a night. And so 10 to 12 hours a night, and it was fantastic. And I just couldn't have been more happy and blessed, and just like, this is too good to be true. My daughter is amazing. She is amazing, don't get me wrong, but she's pulling my hair right now. And then we hit 3 months, and 3 months became hands down the most difficult month that we've dealt with since we've had her. She started waking up randomly. It started once a night, and then the next day was twice a night, and then it became 3 times a night. And she started also getting much more difficult to put down to go to sleep. And that became so exhausting for me and my husband. I mean, literally, she'd be asleep. We put her in a crib. She'd wake up screaming. And I'm talking screaming bloody murder. And it was just like that we did it one night. I think we did it for like 3 or 4 hours and just kept on putting her to sleep in our arms, putting her in the crib, screaming. Put her asleep in our arms, putting her in the crib, screaming. And it just went on and on and on. And I'm like, this needs to stop. This is chaos. So I looked up the Ferber method, and I did a lot of research on it. And so she was only like 3.5 months old, and they really don't recommend you starting that Ferber method, or the cry it out method, which is what it's mostly known as. They don't recommend you starting it until at least 4 months. So we thought we would do a modified version of it. A modified version of the Ferber method. And what I mean by that is we started basically just using it to get her to sleep at night. I wasn't comfortable carrying it out through the night yet because I really did feel like she was hitting the regression early. And I didn't want to, you know, if she was hungry, if she's going through a growth spurt, I didn't want to let her cry that out. I mean, she needed to eat or whatever the case was. I mean, maybe she was teething and she just needed the comfort of her mom. I mean, I'm not going to just deprive her of that. Not at 3.5 months old. That's just it. I just didn't have that heart. But, however, we did do it to go to sleep. And that was very difficult. I would say after the second or third night, it got a little easier for us to handle hearing the crying. But yeah, she was great. I think now it takes maybe 10 minutes for her to fall asleep on her own. So that was the biggest thing for us that we've learned over the last couple weeks was putting her to sleep awake. Sleepy, but awake. And letting her cry. And some people, I mean, totally fine. I know that a lot of mothers just can't handle the crying. And I understand because it was literally torture. It was absolute torture. But it's really, really healthy for them to be able to fall asleep on their own. They can't, you know, they really can't associate breastfeeding or the bottle or rocking or anything like that to get put back to sleep because what will happen is they're going to literally rely on that. They're going to associate that with sleep. And maybe right now while they're cute and tiny and cuddly, you don't think that seems like a bad thing, but when they get older, I don't know, this is my first, but I would assume that it's gonna get old real quick. So to break that habit from starting, we just thought it would be really good to enforce that now, and I'm happy we did because she goes to sleep on her own every single night now, so it's really awesome. I wanted to just discuss why babies hit this regression. So it's called or known as the 4-month regression. She hit it early. And some of the reasons that this happens is when you hit this age, where are you going? The baby will start having like a normal sleep pattern similar to an adult. And so that looks like every 45 minutes to an hour or so, you go from a light sleep to a deep sleep to a light sleep. So when she wakes up from that deep sleep, she wakes up and I don't know if it startles her or what happens, but she's awake and she now needs to go back to sleep. And the only way, like I was saying before, that she knows how to do that is to get nursed or to be comforted by mom or dad. So, that's what happens. And yeah, so it's really hard, especially if you're looking at every hour throughout the night. Oh man, is that exhausting. It's like having a newborn all over again. And another reason that they can be doing this is developmental. So she could be going through a growth spurt, a mental leap, where she's about to do something crazy. She's about to hit another milestone. And for us, that was also the case. So I do think it was a little bit of both for us. Right as we were slowly, we're still, I think, in the regression, or it could just be more of like a habit of what came out of the regression. But she learned how to grasp onto toys and roll over from back to belly. What else did she do? Yeah, she just pretty much loves to play with toys now, so that's a really cool thing. So knowing that came out of all of that sleep issues for the past month, that it almost is like a reward at the end. It's like, okay, well, she clearly was learning something. What are you doing, honey? So yeah, so where we're at now. So we just had the 4-month shots, and again, I sort of feel like she's starting to sleep a little bit longer now. Friday night after her shots, she slept a whole 11 hours. And I know it's because of the shots, but the following night was about, I think, 9 hours, and then she went back down for another 5 or something. Maybe it was another 4. So she's definitely getting longer stretches again, and yeah, so I'm not complaining right now. I do, however, bring her into the bed with us when she wakes up around like 5-ish. My husband leaves for work around 4:30, so I feel like it's a good time. Just bring her in with me. We'll cuddle and sleep until like 9. Yeah, she's gonna end up hating just like me. I love my sleep, and without the routine of going to work every day, oh my gosh, I could just stay in bed all day long. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're at right now. We're getting a little better with the sleep. That was a very long topic. So developmental, we'll discuss now. Like I said, she is now rolling over, which is so cool. However, even though she knows how to roll from belly to back, when she's on her back and rolls to her belly, I don't know if she forgets or she gets so frustrated, but she will not, she's done it a few times, but she won't roll from belly to back again. So she won't return to her original position. And she'll cry and she'll fuss. And it's hard because sometimes I let her cry and hope that she'll just figure it out, and most of the time I just roll her back over. So I'm really hoping that she will realize that she has the muscles to do it, to roll back, but for now I guess I'm just going to continue helping her, or trying to let her figure it out, but I'm mostly going to be helping her. Grasping toys. She loves being on her playmat and grasping the toys and pulling them down. She like shakes the whole thing, and it's so funny because I think like 3 weeks ago, what are you doing? Like 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, we would have to shake the playmat to keep her like interested. It's just so funny because now she's doing it herself. But you want this? Boop. So anyway, yeah, so now she's doing that herself, which is really cool. If you hear her, she's just on the floor down here with me. Yeah, so she pulls them, brings them to her mouth, she shakes the whole playmat. She laughs now. It's so cool. If you get her going, if you do something that makes her laugh, oh my gosh, it just absolutely melts my heart. It's just so cute. She smiles pretty much all the time. If she isn't starving or tired, she's smiling, and it's just, you can see my dog right here. It's just awesome. It's just one of the best joys of being a mother, I swear, is seeing her. What are you doing? She's a character. This girl's gonna have a full personality. Herc. Anyway. Alright, so, yeah, so, next topic, I had left her for the first time for 5 hours, and it was with my husband, but still, pretty big deal because he's only had her longest period of time was an hour when I would go food shopping. So, it was a experience. I went to my little cousin's dance recital, which of course those things are so long. But the second I got in the car and I hit the main road, I almost went into like an anxiety attack, like not with concern that my husband wasn't going to be able to handle it, because of course he is. He was great. But it was like, I think it was like a separation anxiety. She's been literally attached to me for the whole 9 months of my pregnancy, and now the whole 4 months of her life. She's been right there. So just being alone was just weird, and not having her sitting on my lap or hearing her cry. I mean, it was just weird, but we did it. We had 5 hours apart, and it went very well. It was successful. Baby, were you with Daddy and it was successful? Yeah. Smiling away. Yeah, so that was an experience, and we're going to a Patriots game. I'm sorry for all you Patriot haters out there, but we are big Tom Brady fans, and so we're going the day before Christmas Eve to the Pats game. So yeah, we'll be leaving her with my parents, and that's going to be 7 hours-ish. Oh boy, that's going to be hard, but I know, you know, I feel fine with my mom. You know, she's a mom. She knows what she's doing, and I feel like Riley's at a really good age to be apart now. She's not super colicky. She takes a bottle really well. So yeah, I think all in all, it's going to be totally fine, and we're going to have a great time. She doesn't want it. Alright, so next topic, starting solids. This is a very controversial topic that every single person has an opinion on. And I want to start this topic off by saying it is the mother's decision. I think that it is extremely important to do your research and to be your own advocate. If you don't do research and just jump right in to doing something because a doctor tells you to do so, again, that's on you. You are the mother. You can make the... hold on. She just threw up all over her cute little Christmas shirt. But, yeah, you really should do research to figure out if it's something that you really do want to start at 4 months. So the recommendation... Baby! What are you doing? Hey, look at your book. Look at your book. The recommendation is between 4 and 6 months. The recommendation is for between 4 and 6 months. Definitely with the push for closer to 6 months. However, at 4 months, you can start introducing a rice cereal. That is what the general recommendation is for starting solids. A lot of people, I think most of the mothers that I know do start around 4 months with rice cereal. And then I have a bunch of other friends who wait until 6 months, and a lot of friends who are doing the baby-led weaning, which is definitely recommended to wait till 6 months. But again, to each its own. However the mother feels. I mean, the mother knows their child. The mother knows when that baby is ready. So for us, for her being just turning 4 months old, I don't know if we are absolutely ready yet. Chunker butt. I do think that she is showing an interest in what's on our dinner plates. I do bring her to the table with us. And I did set up her high chair so that she could sit at the table with us and kind of just feel what it's like, so that when we do start giving her food and we throw her in this chair, she's not going to freak out because it's something new. So we're kind of like gradually introducing that part of her life to her. You just stared at me. What are you staring at? She does a serious stare, and then she'll throw you a smile after you like look at her for a while. She's so funny. So serious. There it is. So yeah, so I do think she's starting to get a little interested. And that's one of the signs that they tell you. Showing an interest in food, sitting up, holding their head up, have the ability to have a straight back. She definitely has all of those signs. Do you want to come up, Mama? She is just something else lately, I'll tell you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film the rest of this video right now. So yeah, she's definitely showing all of those signs. However, the showing interest in food one, I do think she is, but that's a really hard one to navigate because at this age, they're interested in everything. I mean, everything. So how do you know if it's an interest in food or just an interest in the fact that there's something on your plate and she wants it in her mouth? I mean, she wants everything in her mouth. So anyway, I really want to do baby-led weaning. However, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it into 6 months to try that. I think she's getting tired. So I think what we're going to do is just our own little method, which is totally fine because I'm her mother and I can do whatever the heck I want. I think we're going to start with a puree, and I am not going to start her on rice cereal. I've done my own research and I think we're just going to skip that altogether. If you want to know why, please leave a message in the comment and I can definitely... So yeah, if you want to hear a little bit as to why I don't want to start her on rice cereal, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to share that with you. But anyway, I do think that we're going to start... I'm sorry, she's definitely tired. I do think we're going to start on purees probably in another week or two. And just once a day and just to see how it goes. You're bouncing right now because my dog was just itching himself. That's how big of a boy he is. He can literally move my camera. The struggle's so real right now. Okay, honey. So, yeah, so we're going to start with purees, and then when she hits around, I don't know, maybe between 5.5 to 6 months, we're just going to jump into doing the solids. So kind of like a modified version of the baby-led weaning, because I know that technically baby-led weaning is never introducing purees. I'm not doing that. I'm doing my own thing, guys. I'm not doing any modified version of anything. I'm doing the Jackie Riley version. Which is fine, and that's what you should do. You should just take your baby's lead. And whatever you decide to do with your baby, that's totally fine. So yeah, that's kind of the approach that we're going to go. So I think we're going to wait another week or two to introduce solids. And yeah, we're not doing the rice cereal. So, nursing. I still nurse. It is going phenomenal. There was a time period where I thought that maybe my milk supply was deplenishing. However, that's not the case. It's still strong and better than ever. So yeah, so that's going to be her primary food source until she's a year old. And we nurse just about, I would say, every 2 to 3 hours during the day. It's usually right before she goes down for a nap and when she wakes up from a nap. And she's around 2 naps a day, I think. I know it should be 3 or 4, but this girl just doesn't nap. And we sleep really late, and she goes to bed really early. So that works for us. But anyway, what is Christmas gonna look like for us? What's Christmas gonna look like for us, huh? Santa probably will not be stopping at our house. So we are on a one-income family, and things are just tight this year for us. You know, we had to get rid of my car, which actually cost us quite a bit of money to get rid of it. So it's just not in the cards for us to do a crazy Christmas. And honestly, she's 4 months old. She's not gonna know or remember anything about it. So Santa probably won't stop here. However, I do believe he is stopping at Mimi and Grampy's house. And probably Grandma and Grandpa's too. But, yeah, so we're kind of just letting family, if you want to buy for her, go ahead type of thing. But us as her parents, we're not going crazy. It's not in the cards financially for us, and she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything that's going on. You are being a little fuss bucket for YouTube, huh? They think like you. You usually happy and smiley, but you're sleepy, huh? Sleep, girl. So that's kind of. I think Amazon might be here. My dog's freaking out. But yeah, so that's kind of what Christmas is gonna look like for us. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Next year will definitely be a lot more fun, and she probably still won't have any idea what's going on, but it'll be more exciting for us as parents, I think. So that's kind of it for her 4-month general-ish life. I thought I would just discuss a little bit about postpartum real quick. So I'm 4 months postpartum. Life has been fantastic. I had some baby blues. Hormones are definitely crazy. Still, I have not gotten my period back yet. But what I wanted to share is 2 things. So we are not going back on birth control. And the reason is we tried for so long to get pregnant. We had a miscarriage, and we tried, and the trying was awful. It was torture. It literally destroyed us as a couple, made us not like each other sexually. It was really hard, and the emotional mental state that it made me in, I just don't ever want to feel that way again. But we do want more kids. So our thought process. She's telling Mom to stop talking and pay attention to me. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do this a little different scenery. She's crying in her crib right now, about to go to sleep. So I was just discussing about postpartum and not going back on birth control. So yeah, the reason because I just don't ever want that feeling of trying again. It was awful. I just don't ever want to feel that way again. So what we thought was not going back on birth control, which I don't like birth control. I was on it for 13 years, and I just don't ever want to put that chemical in my body again. To each his own. Totally fine if you do. Safe sex is always a good thing. Just for us as a couple, I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm fine with having kids close together. My husband's fine with that as well. Ideally, we would like to wait to get pregnant until Riley is a year old. If that doesn't happen, guys, if I get pregnant now, I'm totally fine with that. I just want it to be spontaneous. I want to have an oops. That's basically it. I want to have an oops. After trying for so long, I would just like that. I would like that experience. I would like that surprise. My poor girl. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, that's kind of what that is going to look like. So maybe you'll see a pregnancy update soon. No, I'm just kidding. I still haven't got my period back. So who knows when that could happen? I mean, it could take us a long time again. I mean, even though we're not trying, who knows? It might take a long time. So sorry for all these weird angles, guys. My arm is just getting tired. Yeah, so one more thing about postpartum. Recently, like I said before, 4 months has been going fantastic. There has been really no issues with PPD. I did have some cases of the baby blues early on, and yeah, just regular hormone craziness. But recently, I've been starting to think if maybe there might be some postpartum depression happening. I just really have a huge lack of motivation. Like I said earlier, I can stay in bed. I mean, we didn't get up today until I think it was like 9:30. And that's fine. It's not like we have anything to do, but I think the lack of routine for me, like I'm used to getting up every single day and going to work. So that lack of routine, I think, is really getting to me, and I think it is kind of making me depressed. I sit on the chair, this exact chair, all day long, and I watch YouTube or I watch Netflix, and I play with Riley most of the day. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking like when she's sleeping or whatever. I do have a very small routine of cleaning my kitchen and vacuuming the living room every single day. I actually didn't do either of those today. But yeah, so I think I'm starting to just feel a really lack of motivation. And I'm tired. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so tired. And it could be like a lack of iron, I guess. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should go and see a doctor just to make sure that everything's okay. And if it is postpartum, guys, that's totally fine too. I just, I have a history of depression and anxiety, so it's very likely that that's what's happening. And I guess my message about that would just be totally fine, guys. Totally fine. It's normal. Just please make sure you talk to somebody about it, and that is what I'm going to be doing. I just didn't see really the signs of it up until really the last week, I would say. So that is what I'm going to do. I am definitely, I'm not going to preach about it and not do anything. So I am going to reach out to my doctor just to make sure that everything's good. And if it's not, I mean, I used to be on a medication, a very small dose of something, so that I would take daily. I think maybe I should start going back on that, and possibly even a therapist. Guys, I haven't been to a therapist in years. I don't even know how that would work right now because I have a 4-month-old who I am the primary caregiver. I mean, my husband works such crazy hours and side jobs left and right, so I'd probably end up having to leave her with my mom once a week or twice a month. I don't know. I don't know. But, I don't know, that might be a good idea too for me, just to keep myself healthy. It's extremely important. It is. Just because you are solely responsible for another human being now doesn't mean that you're not responsible for yourself as well. Because if you're not healthy and happy and okay, how are you going to take care of somebody else? So you are a priority, ultimately. My poor baby, she just does not, I think it's her teeth, and I don't know. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at postpartum. I just want you guys to know what is going on for us and what is normal. That happens, and happens to a lot more mothers than we think, and a lot of people don't talk about it. I do know that there's a few YouTube mamas that I watch that have openly discussed postpartum depression and just being depressed in general. And actually one of them, Tiffany Beeston from Beauty and the Beestons, she recently in one of her vlogs talked about the possibility of postpartum depression, and I think she is what triggered it in my head that maybe I should, take a look at what I'm going through every single day and see if maybe that's it. It's just easy sometimes to block that out, and especially if you have a history of it, you sort of have denial, like those symptoms just you push immediately out of the to the side, you just don't even want to admit that those are happening to you, which is so dangerous and very scary. So please, I'm just going to stress it again. If you guys are feeling that way, talk to me about it. We can totally talk, and but definitely reach out to a doctor, guys. It is extremely important to have good mental health, and don't ever feel like you are less than of a mother, because you are not. You are a super mom. You are literally, you're doing so much more for your children and your baby than if you go and get checked out. That is the best gift you can give your kids. I really do believe that is the best gift you can give your child, is your mental health. So with that being said, now that this video is so long, that is Riley's 4-month update, and that's a little bit of what it looks like for us right now. I think it's going to be a really exciting month. I feel like she's just hitting these milestones, and I just can't wait to see what's to come. We are going to be child-proofing the house very soon, because I just feel like one day she's going to wake up and be crawling, and that's probably going to be the case. So I hope you guys liked this video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any suggestions about what I could be doing for sleep or for eating, anything of the sort, please leave it down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and other moms with experience. I just think this YouTube thing is so awesome, because having the support of other moms and their advice and their experiences is just it's so cool. It's unlike any community I've ever known. And so I just really want to encourage you, please reach out in the comments or on my Instagram, which is in the description box. Let's please stay connected. I just think this community is awesome, like I said. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for my next video. All right, guys, have a great day.